Tuesday night edition of This Is Our Life. Okay, so probably got a whole bunch of stuff to get into tonight, but I'll let the screen catch up to me here and make sure that y'all can hear me. So as soon as I get the 5x5s, we'll get going. So let's see. Okay, there goes the screen. So the wonderful play. Let's see if y'all can hear me. All right. Can you guys hear me? All right. Sound good, video good. Virginia Prepper's on there. And of course, the first thing I realized is I didn't. All right. You guys hear me? All right. Sound good, video good. 4x5. Okay. Bear with me. All right. Now, if there's any echo, we should have that problem. Okay. Taken care of. Okay. Well, welcome to Tuesday. And if y'all are like me, you've probably got the news on, wondering what's going to happen in Georgia tonight. So I'll paying attention to that, but we'll get into some of the politics stuff like we always do. A couple of housekeeping items. If there's anybody new here or anybody that's new to the prepping community, Domestic Gangsta put up a new series, I guess, that she's going to do for beginning preppers. And I was watching it this afternoon. I thought it was pretty cool. It's her $10 weekly what to do, how to get yourself started or add to it, everything like that. So if y'all haven't checked out her channel, go check it out. She's got some real good ideas on there for people that are just getting started. So thought I'd put that out there real quick. She's been in and around the whole community for a long time, so she knows what she's talking about. See, Indiana Prepper 2's in here, one of my mods. That's good. I believe you're the only one so far, buddy. So you will probably have a nice, interesting day. If you guys have noticed or not, for some reason, North Shore just popped in. Okay, so we got two of you guys in here. That's good. If you guys haven't noticed, or if you have, I don't know, 3 of the last 4 live streams I've done have mysteriously disappeared from YouTube. So we're going to, I've been in contact with YouTube trying to find out what's going on, but the videos just disappear and they don't know where they're going. So we're looking for them, but I've got the link saved tonight just in case it happens again. So if you guys, some people can't be here for it, and hence we wind up not having a replay, which doesn't do anybody any good. Just exploring every path is in here. Good. Welcome to. And Jason, Virginia's here. Good. We got all the mods showing up. All right, now we're in good shape. All right, you guys know the deal. Have fun. One other housekeeping. By popular demand, we are moving the Saturday live chat from 10:30 back until 9 o'clock Eastern. Seems like last week everybody was asking me to go on early, so we went on early, and which is fine by me. Keeps me from being up all night. But then I put the question out to everybody if you'd rather have me do them early, and the majority of everybody said yes, they would. So effective Saturday, we're going to start going to 9 o'clock Eastern on Saturday nights. And then North Shore, if you want to go on after that, 10:30-ish would be perfect. And that way you don't have to stay up till 2 in the morning. Okay. So that's housekeeping. As for all of that, as the other normal thing here, we're going to do Q&A, and I'm going to kind of talk about a couple of other things as we go along too. If you have questions, most certainly, please put them in all caps so I can read them. Okay. So I'm going to start out here just in case anybody hasn't seen what's been going on lately in the last 24 hours. First one. You all know about this huge rally going on in D.C. for tomorrow being January 6th, and Congress supposedly certifying the electoral votes, right? And chances are you probably saw that the leader of the Proud Boys was arrested for, I guess, an incident back in December where his group at least had swiped a BLM flag off of some historically black church, I guess it was, and burned it. And so, of course, they have They arrested him on that charge, and then I guess he is a felon. And so he also had high capacity magazines, and so a judge has now banned him from any of the festivities, let's just put it that way, going on in DC, which I thought was kind of interesting because the other part of the fun deal tomorrow, if anybody caught the video today, Antifa has arrived, and they came in 4 buses with a police escort, sirens and lights the whole way through. The police bringing Antifa into the protest. Now, if that's not asking for trouble, I don't know what is. Okay, but you got to remember, DC is 93% Democrat, so they certainly don't want a whole bunch of patriots out there, stopping the steal. So that was that fun part. So if you haven't seen this video of that, all over the place. And then the other one that was very interesting, if you remember back last election when the Democrats took the House back in 2018? Yeah, 2018. And Nancy Pelosi became the Speaker of the House and promised everybody this was the last time, she wasn't going to do it again. Well, Nancy Pelosi was voted in as the new Speaker of the House for Congress, the next Congress here, being seated here now. And it was kind of interesting. She won by 1 vote. And the funny part was there were 5 congressmen who were COVID positive that miraculously were allowed to come to the House to vote for Nancy Pelosi today. So again, rules for thee and not for me. Okay, so that's your update on the latest bit of politics, and Mrs. Pinball is in the other room watching Georgia, so just in case anything gets called while we're on here, which I kind of doubt, I don't think we'll know till the morning, but just in case we'll know if the country's totally gone in the shitter or not. So, okay, so those are things I wanted to bring up. That's kind of what's been on my mind. Besides the fact I unloaded another truckload of manure today, so I think I've got 3 or 4 more to go, and I will be done. And at least that garden will be ready then. So let's scroll into some questions and see what we got here. So I'm going to kind of go back up to the top and look what we got and go from there. So bear with me. I got to find you. Okay. James Klontz, BLM, they burn the American flag, no one goes to jail. Exactly. The BLM flag stands for nothing. Okay. I mean, it's like burning a Chicago Cubs flag. Who cares? You're a White Sox fan, maybe you do that. Okay. The American flag is the American flag. How is it that you can burn the American flag? You can burn a police station. You can try to burn down a federal government building and nothing happens to you, but you burn some black piece of cloth that says BLM on it, and oh my God, that's an arrestable thing. I mean, that just kind of tells you where we're headed, guys. All right, so keep your eyes open for some of that stuff. Okay, let's see. Pam Fury, what do I think about a man, a woman vote when they couldn't vote on anything important? Don't know what you're talking about. So gonna have to be a little bit more specific. If there's anything that's been called a man, a woman vote, I haven't heard about it. Damn it. August Blue, more manure being unloaded in DC than in Tennessee. Ain't that the truth? Okay. If I could harvest all that, I'd have, like a 300 square acre garden daily. Jules, burning the American flag hurts my heart. Tell me about it. I saluted that flag for a long time and, signed the blank check for it. It pisses me off to see all this, and it should piss off every veteran, let alone every true American. But just for the sake of what really gets me on that is it pisses me off that what I was willing to risk my life for, this is the thanks I get for it. What I did allows them to do that. And not that I'd ever take back my service, but because it allows these yahoos to do this crap, just frustrates the crap out of me. Okay, Cat Fiend Preps. I just saw a headline saying Pence may not be at the certification tomorrow. Okay, so this was something that was put out by, oh God, what the hell was his name? Chuck Grassley supposedly put out a tweet or a comment or something like that, and apparently it got construed as to Mike Pence wasn't coming. Since then, that's been reversed, okay, because Grassley said that, being the president pro tem, he was going to be in charge, and he didn't know how he would deal with all the proceedings tomorrow. That's all been backpedaled. Last I've heard, Mike Pence is going to be there tomorrow. Okay, so what good that does you, I have no idea, but I think it's going to be a lot of hullabaloo. I don't think you're probably not going to get the certification tomorrow unless it's very late. There's nothing in the Constitution that says the certification has to be done on the 6th. The only thing in the Constitution is the new president is inaugurated on the 20th, okay? So if this drags out to the 7th, to the 8th, to whatever, it could drag out to the 19th. But, somebody before noon on the 20th is going to be declared the next president, and then at noon they will be sworn in. So, okay. I hate this thing. As soon as I go scrolling to catch up to you guys, it goes all the way to the bottom, and I got to go back up top and try to find it again. Where was I? Okay, so that's where I was. Prepping 101, is there a reason you're early? No, I do 8 o'clock on Tuesdays every week. That hasn't changed. We are changing Saturday to doing 9 o'clock Eastern, but Tuesdays have always been 8 Eastern. RBF calf. How long have you been using your trellis system? I'm thinking of trying them. I built those last year, okay? And they work out really nice for my peas, my cucumbers. I do I do bush beans. So if you did pole beans, it'd probably work out there. But they work out great for tomatoes, peas, and cucumbers. That was what I had them up for last year. This year, I'll be adding some more to do cantaloupes and honeydew. But they work out really nice, and they're inexpensive. So, that's the best part about them. I mean, like I said, it's some scrap wood and some remesh. But they've already survived 2 winters. So if you're asking for how long they'll go, figure the wood on them will probably last 3 or 4 years. That's fine. Then just replace them. It's just some scrap 2x4s I just split in half. Okay. Tom Hester, would reducing the sugar in the pinball wine reduce the sweetness or the alcohol content? Both. Okay. Because the alcohol is created by the yeast eating the sugars and releasing the gases, and that's the fermentation, okay? But then the sugars are also what's causing the sweetness in the wine. If anybody's made the Applejack recipe I did which is basically the same, it's just apple juice instead of grape juice and brown sugar instead of white sugar. If you taste that when it's done fermenting, it is about the driest wine. It is not sweet at all, okay? That's why I make Applejack. You got to put the apple juice concentrate in there. Just because there isn't the sweetness and the sugar content in brown sugar, believe it or not, that there isn't white sugar. I didn't know that, but yeah, it comes out extremely dry. Okay, I'm scrolling on down. Yeah, Indiana prepper, the cop that killed Jacob Blake got let go today. Yep, so that's gonna just add more fuel to the fire. I saw that. El Garcia, what was my biggest gardening fail or mistake? The biggest, I guess it wasn't even my fault. The biggest fail I had was I had compost that was laced with Grazon. which is a herbicide to kill weeds that farmers put on their cattle pastures or horse pastures to kill the weeds, to keep the grass. And so that completely destroyed one garden because I had to go take out all the compost. It takes, I guess, about the graze on the herbicide does not even die off going through a digestive system of an animal. So it's still stuck in there. And after I found out this, go read it. And I guess it's been going on for about 10 years. But that would be the biggest fail I've ever had because I completely lost the garden. Sassy 56. In my opinion, would it be safe to be traveling from Georgia to Florida for 3 days? I wish you would have asked yesterday. I would have said get on the road. Today, if you're going, go now, because as soon as this election's called, it ain't going to be pretty, all right, in Georgia or anywhere else, because the way the Georgia election's called, if the Democrats win, the Republicans are going to scream fraud, okay? And if the Republicans win, then the Democrats are going to scream, racism or something like that. And it's just going to get ugly. I hope you're not around Atlanta, but I don't see any problem traveling because of that. I mean, for physical violence, I don't see any issues as long as you're not in the cities. When this is all come, because I get a feeling Atlanta's going to be ugly tomorrow. And then as for COVID, Florida seems to be one of the safer places to be for COVID. So that would be my answer. Okay. Yeah, Prepping 101. Penn says 10 days to count the votes. He'll take his time. That's what I said. I don't see it coming to fruition tomorrow. There's going to be stall tactics and delay tactics, because, they're still trying to fight all this stuff and get it in front of the Supreme Court and everything. Like I said, as long as somebody's, certified by at 11:59 on January 20th and somebody can get sworn in at noon, that's all the Constitution requires. Okay, where else we got? TJ is in the house. Hey, TJ. All right, so you're the one that can really tell us what the heyday craziness is going on down in Georgia. So yeah, let us know what you're seeing down there. That would be interesting to all of us who are only getting the slanted news. Sorry, I got a hair tickling my nose. But yeah, the rest of us are just watching all the filtered stuff on the news. If you know what's really going on, let the rest of us know. Yeah, Barb claiming maybe they're hurting everyone to Florida. I'm staying put here in Minnesota. Yeah, right now it's probably a good day to just, good couple of days to just stay in a house and not go anywhere. Cause especially if you're around a city tomorrow, I wouldn't want to be around any city with everything that's going on tomorrow. Yeah, if y'all caught this one, I guess Angry Prepper went down to DC for all of this, so I'm waiting to see him put out some video on everything. That ought to be some interesting stuff. Wow, this just drives me nuts. Okay, let's see. Anybody else got questiones in here or whatever? Okay, I'm not seeing any. So, okay. So until you guys come up with some questions. So if I kind of play this out a little bit, what's going to happen tomorrow, at least in my thought, okay? You're going to have the scenario real quick where, was it Alabama's first? Alabama's going to go, they'll get, the votes will all get certified, no big deal. Arizona's second. And this is when all hell is going to break loose, okay? And everybody's going to object, and that's going to lead to I think it was 2 hours of debate and everything, on it. And what you're going to wind up having is the House and the Senate have to separate. They're going to go debate on each one of their own floors. So that means you have all the senators, because this all happens in the House. All the senators have to go back to their chamber, which of course takes time. and then they're going to go, well, we've got lunch and everything like that. So that 2 hours is actually going to take 4 or 5. Then they're going to come back. They're going to continue the roll. And as soon as they get to the next state, and this is going to happen over and over and over again. So this is why I'm saying you're not going to see anything come down tomorrow, because you're going to have all sorts of craziness. My honestly, what I think is going to happen, I think tomorrow is the beginning of the 2024 campaign. I think this is when you're going to start seeing GOP senators, GOP congressmen start positioning themselves to run in 2024. Now, that may all go completely by the wayside, because if Trump runs again in 2024, I got to think that the public is still going to be behind Trump even more so now. And if it's 51-49, which is probably how the vote should have officially been tabulated, but after seeing what the Biden-Harris administration is going to do, I get the feeling you're going to see a lot of people jump and go, okay, I thought Trump was bad, but this guy is just utterly incompetent. And then if they put heels up in there, we don't need a whore in Washington. We got enough as is. We don't need somebody who made a living out of it. Okay, so now we got here. Okay, now we get some questions. Okay, the purring lady, any greenhouse plans? We've thought about it. We don't. I mean, our winters here aren't that long, and the summers are pretty good. So, sure, it gives me a couple of months, from maybe early November to early February where I can't do anything, but that's fine. That's, with the holidays there and everything like that, the last thing I need to be doing out on Christmas is, gee, I've got to go harvest something or whatever. I need a break too. Okay. Yeah, Becky Reed, New York is voting on Bill A416 tomorrow. I don't see it passing. Okay, I really don't. There's enough politicians that don't like it, and the public is just absolutely against it. Because if you read the thing, okay, literally, they can detain you if you have a cold. Okay, it doesn't say anything specific about COVID or anything like that. It said if you're contagious. Well, if I've got a cold, I'm contagious, so you could feasibly take me. I mean, they're going to grab you, they're going to test you. Oh, you have a cold. No, they're not going to let you go. They're going to wait till your cold's gone or never let you go. So, yeah, I don't see it passing. Okay. Highlands Husky, fuel storage, the best way? Rotating your fuel. I mean, I used 5-gallon gas cans. I've got, 6 of them. And, I'll store gas. And then, okay, when it's time to, 4 or 5 months or whatever, till the stuff starts getting old, I just take that, I put it in my truck, and then I go redo the 5-gallon gas cans. I'm not going to think about storing 55-gallon drums worth of gas or something, because you've got to rotate it, because gas goes bad. And even if you use stable in it, you extend the life for 6 months. Okay, gas at that point is good for a year. That's about it. Then it starts getting gummy. So there's not a real good way to store gas. So, just rotate it as best you can. Have I seen Ice Age Farmers report in the UK on food shortage? Yeah, I mean, Ice Age Farmers spot on for this stuff. And we're going to see a lot of that here too. I mean, that's kind of why I started doing the whole gardening series right now, because even though it's the beginning of January, you all need to get ready and get this stuff going, because like I said in one of the videos, when the masses go, oh, it's gardening season, you're going to see no seeds on the shelf, no tools, no, whatever, peat moss, soils, fertilizers, because it's just going to be gone. You had so many more people. I think it was Rudy did a piece on it. Maybe it was, I don't remember. I watched a video today. I watched a lot of videos today. But there were actually more people gardening in the United States in 2020 than we have since World War II. Okay, that was your days of victory gardens. So that's why I'm trying to do these now, so you guys will go out and get the stuff now and be ready for when it goes, because they're not going to make more seeds in July. Okay, I mean, again, seeds are, it's not a manufacturing facility. There's only so many. So, okay. Uh, Bullfrog Swamp Homestead. What kind of boat do I have, and what spring do you fish? Oh, okay. Oh, all right. So first off, what I found a couple of years ago. I found an old 1971 tri-hull that I restored. Okay, so the boat's almost as old as me, 50 years old at this point. It's got a 81 Merc 115 on it, uh, which is great little boat for tooling around. A 17 footer. I can go cruising around on the boat. I go fishing off the boat. Uh, and then around here, fishing for crappie, largemouth, smallmouth, and striper. So that's pretty much, Lake Norris, which is the lake right here I'm on, is famous for its smallmouth. So a lot of fun. Okay. Setter, what are my ideas for a perimeter early warning system? You have smoke head assemblies with 22 blanks and a wear release. Okay. I've seen those, and they're no problem, but I think they're about $30 a piece. Okay. And back, I think it was probably November, maybe it was October, I did a video on audible alarms. Works exactly the same way, basically a tripwire alarm, but you can make them yourself for about $5-6. So those are my better ideas, because that audible alarm will continue to go off, and if I'm sound asleep, hearing a cartridge go off, pop. Okay, by the time I get to a window, get out to a door, I don't know which one went off. If the audible alarm's going off, I can hear the direction it's coming from and know where the threat was. So that's kind of what I prefer to use at that point. Oops, somebody just said something. I gotta find it again because it scrolled up. Hang on. Southernmost Illinois, first year composting as opposed to buying. What do I avoid putting in the pile? Do not put in anything that is meat or any sort of dairy product. Egg shells are fine. Okay, you could actually put the whole eggs in, but no cheese, no milk, no nothing like that. That's all going to just spoil. No meat, no bones, nothing like that. Do not try to compost dog poop or anything like that. Basically, you're looking at anything that's fruits and vegetables. Okay, that's what you're going to compost from in the house. Your potato peels, cucumber peels, apple cores, banana peels, whatever it would be. That stuff's all good. Coffee grounds are great. Tea bags are great. Grass clippings, weeds. I know a few people said they don't do their weeds because they worry about weed seeds. If you get your pile hot enough, I don't worry about the weed seeds. I don't have any problem checking out. If I get a few weeds, which you're going to get anyway, it's great. Just gives me a chance to get in that closer to my garden, and I'm kind of checking out. And, gee, I got bugs too, or whatever, so you can find that stuff out. Brown materials that you can use, like I said, leaves work great. Shredded paper, newspaper. I know people have said that newspaper, you can't because of the ink. No, it's been about 30 years now that all the ink has to be biodegradable ink. It's not the old stuff that they used. So newspaper ink is fine to use. Cardboard, that works fine. Just, if you're doing paper or something, make sure you don't put any plastics in there. Nothing that's greasy. If you made macaroni and cheese, don't put that in there, because you got the cheese, the butter, or anything like that. You don't want anything like that. Just, if you stick to vegetables, fruits and vegetables, coffee grounds, tea bags, any yard waste that you have, you'll be good. Okay. Val Robinson, we all need a break. I need a break for about a month yet, don't we all? Lisa Preps, we talked about that a second ago about the Jacob Blake shooting. Yeah, he's not. That's just going to make things a little ugly tomorrow. Prepping 101. It's coming. Get y'all seeds now. Yes. If y'all haven't noticed, there's a lot of these seed catalogs that you're getting go online. They're already sold out. Okay, so if you're thinking you're going to wait till March, don't. All right, not going to happen. They're going to be gone. Uh, and there's a lot of places that you can still get seeds for good prices. I mean, I know people mentioned the dollar store stuff. Yeah, I mean, if I've seen those. 5 packs for $1 or whatever. Try it. Even if you get 50% germination, who cares? It was 20 cents for a bag of seeds. Go for it. Mi Gardner's good. He's got his seed packs are most of the time 99 cents. Walmart probably has them out by now. They'll have a whole bunch of stuff. The key I always say to everybody, look for heirloom seeds though. That way you can save the seeds at the end of the year. Well, you can save them out of the other one, out of the hybrids too, but you're just not going to get the same plant back. But try to get heirloom seeds so you know what you're going to get every year. Okay, where are we? Gibson girl, can you overwinter carrots in my area? Yes. Okay. In the ground I can, because the ground, it doesn't get cold enough here to freeze the ground. Rarely do we get snow that'll stick. Okay, because the surface of the ground is fine. What I prefer to do, and I'm going to show you guys how to do this when it gets a little warmer out, is put them in a root cellar. Okay, and I'm not talking about go build this big root cellar or anything like that. There's a real easy way to do it. I'm going to put a couple in here this year. So you take one of your galvanized steel trash cans and you bury it. Okay, and that'll act as a great root cellar. So, and I'll show you when I do that. But I got to get somebody out here to dig the holes, because there's no way I'm digging 4 feet down in this clay. That's just not going to happen. I need somebody with the auger on the back of a tractor. Okay, I'm looking. Oops. Hang on, I'm trying to find where we. Amy Peacock, do I recommend starting from seeds or plants? Absolutely start from seeds, just for the cost basis of it. Okay. You can go out and buy a bag of, I don't know, pea seeds or bean seeds or whatever, cucumber seeds or whatever it is, and it'll cost you a couple of bucks. You go to the store and you buy 1 or 2 seedlings of cucumbers. Let's just use that again. And that'll cost you the same couple of bucks, except I've got 30 seeds in a pack or whatever it would be, and I'm gonna get 30 cucumber plants, so you got 2 for the same money. And even if 28 of them don't work, which that's not going to happen, they don't germinate, I've still got the same amount as you do. Okay, and to get a cucumber to germinate to get to the same size as you got in the Home Depot or whatever it would be, at 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe of doing it. I mean, save yourself a ton of money and grown by seed. Jules, thank you very much for that. Did you take Mrs. Pinball out to lunch and thank her for sharing you with us? Yes, I will do so. Okay. And of course, now I have to refresh the page because I opened that because I saw it on the phone, and now I got to go here so I can get rid of this thing. So bear with me a second. And we'll try to find where we caught up on the questions. But yeah, absolutely grow from seeds. It's super easy. You're not going to have any worse luck or better luck. So why spend all the money on the seedlings when you can do it yourself just as easily? Okay. Where's the next one? And I got to go back up here. Okay. Chris Ellenberg, what's my thoughts on the Iranian attack of the South Korea oil tanker? Iran is doing a lot of saber rattling right now, and that's ballsy to go after South Korea right now, because obviously South Korea is one of our allies, and South Korea, borders with North Korea, so and North Korea and Iran, so you're getting into a real love triangle, if you will, in there. So that keep an eye on that. That could get very dangerous very fast. Uh, Indiana Prepper put all 10 of my pumpkins in my compost pile. Yep, might as well. Okay. Though careful with, I hope you took the pumpkin seeds out because pumpkin seeds are really hard to stop, and you know how pumpkins grow. Uh, Wilderness Woman, save the eggshells. You can use it for pest control. Save coffee grounds. Changes. Coffee grounds don't change the acid level in soil. I mean, not significantly. Not unless you're taking bags and bags of them. Because once you've, if you're talking about unused coffee grounds, yes, they will. But once you've run it through it to make it a cup of coffee, for the most part, you've neutralized the majority of it. It's an old wives' tale about using coffee grounds on azaleas and stuff like that. It doesn't make that much of a difference. Linda Price Duncan, thanks for the boiling water tip. Yep, that. I mean, you got to inoculate. You got to sterilize the soil. I mean, and I don't want gnats all over my house. Okay, we get it bad enough once a year with the stink bugs down here. I certainly don't want gnats flying around all summer. Mary Alice Dobbert. Okay, you are a master gardener. Okay, well, thank you. If a master gardener is telling me I'm doing this right, thank you. Appreciate that. I've been validated. I feel good. Uh, Vicky Clark, do I start your seeds indoors or do you put them straight into your garden? I don't get a lot of frost where I live. Actually, that's tomorrow morning's video, and I've already recorded it. So, because it depends on the plant. Some you do start indoors, some you don't start indoors. But that is tomorrow morning's video where I'm going to talk about the cup sizes that you'll plant for indoor plants because some you need bigger cups. Obviously, you guys already know the soil thing because you already saw that. And then, uh, when you do go to transplant it, what types of fertilizers are you going to use for each particular plant? I mean, some like a more neutral soil, a more acidic soil, more an alkaline soil, So I've got a whole spreadsheet that I put together, and I'll tell you guys now, I mention it tomorrow anyway, where everything that I plant, which is a lot of stuff, okay, I've got it broke down to, when it goes in seedling trays, when it goes in the ground, what size cup it goes into, what the fertilization schedule is for it, et cetera, et cetera. If anybody wants that, just email me. I'm more than happy to send it to you. You're going to have to change the dates for when you plant it because obviously if you're in Duluth, Minnesota, you don't have the same weather I do. But I'm in zone 6. So if you're in zone 6, what I've got works perfect. Anything else, you're going to have to adjust your dates. And like I've said a few times, almanac.com, Farmer's Almanac gives you some great schedules for when to plant your seeds by your zip code. Tell you what zone you're in and everything where to go. So, okay. August Blue, keep your eggshells in a plastic coffee can, mash them down with a potato masher. Every once in a while, use them on the tomatoes. Yeah. When you plant your tomatoes, putting some crushed eggshell at the bottom of the hole is very good because you're trying to get the calcium out of them. Eggshells break down real slow, so it's a very, very slow release fertilizer, but it kind of works a little bit like calcium nitrate or anything like that. So yeah, you want to put, because if you don't have enough calcium in your soil for your tomatoes, you'll get blossom end rot. That's where it turns black on the bottom of the tomatoes and they're nasty. So yeah, eggshells are very good for that. The only thing is make sure you rinse them before you put them in your bucket or whatever, your coffee can there. Otherwise, they will stink like hell. Yeah, Wilderness Woman, time to start buying your canning lids before they run out again. I actually haven't looked for jars and lids for a while, so I really don't know. I mean, every time I'm at the store, I'll look, Walmart, I'll stop and see if they've got any, and I haven't seen quart jars in there in months. But yeah, come fall again, there's going to be a shortage. We the People prepping. Yet there are groups on Facebook that sell and trade seeds. Oh yeah, they're all over the place. You get local ones. I mean, there's and I forget who it was. There was somebody in one of the chats, one of the comments on the video, I think it was yesterday, who said he's got tons and tons and tons of seeds. If anybody wanted some, just contact him. Okay, because a lot of us that have gardened for a while, we have way too many. I mean, I've got a bag of radish seeds. I could probably plant half an acre of radishes. Okay. I just don't need that many. So I give them to my neighbors, and anybody that wants them is just, here's some radish seeds. I mean, I just drop them off at the front door. Here's your seeds. But yeah, I mean, there's places to talk to all the time, or people to talk to all the time that you can get them. It's just you may not get what you want. Okay, if you're trying to grow pickling cucumbers, there might not be anybody who's got pickling cucumber seeds. You might get other kinds of cucumbers, but not particularly what you're looking for. So, but yes, definitely a good idea to check out. Cup of Cats 11:11. Do I tighten the lids on my wine now? They're 7 weeks old. Tried Christmas Eve and it was great. Okay. If you made the wine, you fermented it in the bottle. Now what you need to do is slowly pour the wine out of the juice bottle into a mason jar or whatever, because you don't want all the sediment on the bottom, which is all the dead yeast on the bottom, in the wine anymore. So you need to pour that out into a mason jar and then screw your lid on tight. You'll be all set. Okay, you're good. That now it'll save, and you can do whatever you need to do. You don't need to pressure can it or anything, water bath, nothing. Just screw the lid on tight, and you're good. Oh, Krylon, MI Gardener seed packs are $2 each now. Ooh, okay. He has raised the prices. Okay. Sorry, I was going through and where was I? Wait, you guys are going nuts. Stuart, any hope of that borscht video soon? Yes, we talked about it today. We'll probably be doing it sometime this week. So, if not, maybe this weekend. So we'll see. But soon, very soon, I promise. Joe DeFazios, dried beans from the store will grow. Yes, they will. Uh, you know, probably a whole, if you want lima beans or something like that, it's a whole lot cheaper to buy them that way than it is to buy the seeds, because you can make a pot of lima beans, go plant a few of them. Just, you need to know what beans you get. You buy those mixed bean package, you got 5 different kinds of beans in there. You need to know what they are. Voodoo Queen, start your garlic. And around here, my garlic goes in November, so my garlic's long since in. My sweet potato slips will be being put together this weekend. So, yep, you are spot on there. If y'all don't know what sweet potato slips are, okay, you don't. Sweet potatoes aren't like regular potatoes, okay? You can either put it in dirt and grow the slips off them, or you can put it in a glass of water like you do an avocado seed, with the toothpicks in it. Let the bottom of the potato sit in the water, whatever, and eventually you'll see like the eyes of a potato grow on the outside. And they'll grow into slips, they look like stems. You break those off of the potato and you plant that. You don't plant the whole potato, otherwise you'll grow a ton of slips and never get a sweet potato. You got to plant the slip only. So, Frank Brown, grow cannabis. Yeah, not my thing. So that won't be happening in my house. Couldn't tell you how to grow it either. Foggy Mountain Man, check your local landfill. You get free compost and mulch at ours. They don't advertise it, but getting it for a year. Yeah, I can get free mulch here. Okay, lots of trees. You guys have seen that. So they've got to cut all those down for the power line. So there's tons of wood chip mulch I can get all the time. Compost you got to be careful with. Not only for the fact of where it came from, because if somebody's using chemicals on their lawn or whatever it is, now it's in your compost, it's going to destroy it. But I had done this once a long time ago when I lived in Indiana, and I got a truckload of city compost, and it was on my driveway. And by the weekend, when I went to go use it, it already had weeds like all through it. So it's not hot composted, so it's not killing the weed seeds. Amy Arsenault, you have a hard time. How do you have a hard time growing green beans? Okay, green beans don't even need fertilizer. Green beans, as long as you've got a decent soil, you can grow green beans. So you've either got a soil issue or a sun issue, one of the two. TRK, do I buy potato starts either for ice potato? I don't know what ice potatoes are, or sweet potatoes. No, I just use my own slips. I save a few potatoes each year, a few sweet potatoes, just in a cool, dark place. And this weekend I'll just throw in a glass of water, put them out in front of the window, and let them do their thing over the next month and a half or so. Y'all are talking about something about setting up a tent. Okay, I'm figuring that has nothing to do with me, but I just see the caps. Eric, you're still finding random stink bugs. Yeah, every once in a while I'll run across and it's like, what the hell are you doing? It's January. Uh, okay, where are we going? Highlands Husky snowed almost 2 inches in Southwest Virginia today. You're not that far from me. It didn't even rain here. I mean, I can be in Southwest Virginia in 45 minutes. It must have just stayed. I mean, I don't know how far in you are, uh, but I mean, I can get in Southwest Virginia right there where Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia meet. So I mean, that's not that far from me. James Klontz, chicken poop and gardening. Yeah, chicken poop, rabbit poop. Man, if you got that, you got gold. So, fortunately, I don't have it. So I'm using. I mean, cow manure and horse manure aren't bad, but chicken manure, rabbit manure, you don't have to age. Uh, Lisa, do I get Japanese beetles? Any way to get rid of them other than hanging bags with bait? You need to put milky spore in your gardens. Okay. I did that a couple of years ago. Just buy a bag of milky spore, shake it out over all your gardens. And then last year I didn't have any. I mean, because 2 years ago, 2019, oh my God, the Japanese beetles we had, it looked like, a scene out of the birds. I mean, there were millions of them flying around. And I put the milky spore in the gardens, and, obviously it kills the milky spore, eats all the eggs or kills all the eggs. And I didn't have any. So that would be my suggestion there. Uh, Wilderness Woman, that spreadsheet is so important. Yeah, I mean, basically, it's a learning tool. It's like, okay, this worked, this didn't. And it's obviously amend it as you go. And I had to change a whole bunch of it when we moved out here, so it's a work in progress. But so far so good. Uh, Tennessee Tactical. This topic is my weakness. Almost taking those. Spring, I'm going to start. Granddaddy would proud that I'm gardening and prep. Gardening is difficult, guys. It's not putting a seed in the ground, pouring some water over it, and thinks it grows. Okay, I mean, every plant is different. Does it need 5 hours sun? Does it need 8 hours sun? Does it need alkaline soil? Does it need acidic soil? There's a million and one things to do. Never get frustrated with gardening. That's what's so fun about it, because uh, and I'm sorry, I forgot what her name was, our master gardener in the crowd. She'll tell you she still has failures. I guarantee it that things don't work because there's a lot of stuff we can't control. If the weather sucks all year, you're going to have problems. If you have a cool summer, if you have a hot summer, you're going to have problems. Depending on what bugs you get, you're going to have problems. I mean, we had it last year. Our last frost date around here is supposed to be April 30th, and we had a frost the third week of May. And Mrs. Pinball and I are out running outside with pots and everything, trying to cover up all our tomatoes and everything because we'd already put them in the ground. It was, time for them to go. And now you got a frost. We don't want to lose our entire garden. So, yeah, it's gardening's not easy. And, it's fun. And you do what you can. You do the best you can and hope for the best. Okay. It's like nobody's perfect. Okay. You just do it. Some years you're going to have great harvest. Last year I got squat for peppers. Nothing. Okay. I think I had a couple of little pepperoncini made it. That was it. Did not get a single bell pepper. And I think I had a dozen bell pepper plants. They just didn't grow last year. And, but I had a bumper crop of tomatoes, so, you never know. Okay. Moving on through. Lisa there. Okay. If anybody's in Ohio, Kroger, Myers, Walmart has jars and lids. That's good. Barb Clayman, yes, there's a good one. There's a tip that I haven't even brought up. Saving the water after boiling eggs to water your plants. Obviously, cool it first. but you get some of the calcium off of the eggshell in the water, so it will help, especially in tomatoes. That's a good thing to use. Tomatoes and peppers for your egg water or eggshell water. Uh, Prepping 101. Do I see these shortage cycles repeating often? Run on things, shortage, run on things, repeat. Yeah, because as long as they keep open up business, shutting down business, open up business, shutting down business, you're locked down, you're not locked down. Uh, People don't know what to do now. Fortunately, by now, a lot of people, I think I saw at one point, like 61% of the people were putting away food in the country. That was great. Okay, so maybe we're not going to see that much. But if we go into a hard lockdown like the UK just went, and they go, "Look, you know what? You're not leaving your house for a month." Yeah, okay. When's that start? That starts Monday. Great. I guarantee you on Saturday and Sunday, the stores are completely cleaned out. So, yeah, I mean, you're going to see a lot of that. Joe DeFazio, do I have any plans to raise a meat source? No, I can't. That's the thing. Now, I know a couple of people have talked about rabbits or quail or something like that. Quail, I can't do. I know that. Rabbits, I'm not sure. I haven't looked into it, but I know I can't have any livestock here. There's a TVA regulation against us having livestock this close to the lake because the lake is a uh, water source for like half of the South, and so we can't. They don't want the, I guess, the fertilizers or whatever it would be, or the manures or whatever getting in the water source. Because Norris Lake, I think, was the fourth cleanest lake in the United States last time I saw, something like that. I mean, you can literally look down and see 3 feet down into the water. That's how clear the water is. Uh, Eric Johnson, originally from the Quad Cities, lived in Davenport before moving to Tennessee. I was actually born in Sterling. So obviously Sterling, Illinois, so you know that area. Da, 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 da. Heidi Jenkins, good point. For tomato hornworms, buy a blacklight flashlight and go pick them out by hand. You should have seen the hornworms we had last year. I mean, they were literally 2 inches long and as thick as my finger. They're monster things. Uh, they loved my tomatoes. I didn't like them. Uh, Wilderness Woman, yeah. For stink bugs, use mint around your garden or garlic water. Okay, I've never heard of the mint part, but then you also mentioned marigolds. I plant garlic and marigolds around all my gardens because not only the bugs don't like marigolds, the critters don't. Deer don't like marigolds, squirrels don't like marigolds. So marigolds are really good about keeping your furry friends out of the garden too, as well as garlic. They don't like the smell of either one of them. So, and we love garlic, so it's not like growing more is going to be a problem around here. Eric, your mom went to high school in Rock Falls. I was born there. I actually went to high school in Michigan. Uh, James, hornworms are good for fishing. Yes. Uh, Born in Tennessee, Tactical. Born in Nashville and left at the age of 44 and didn't look back. Okay, where else are we going? Rebecca, okay, you can keep quail and rabbits in a shed type building, both are housed in cages, right? That's the thing. That's what I don't know. I'd have to go out and build the shed and everything like that. So, not, like I said, not saying I can't do it. I know I can't have like cows and sheep and stuff like that. I mean, the rabbits and the quail, I may be able to. I don't know. But I haven't really given a whole lot of thought to it. Oh my God, I got to the bottom here. Yep, moldy soldier use marigolds to keep bunnies away. Yeah, exactly. Keeps the furry critters away. Lake lizard, tomato hornworms are great catfish bait. Yeah. Uh, just mentioning the lake. I was talking to a guy yesterday when I was out picking up the uh, compost, and he was telling me about catfish that he and his buddy were after. They were up by one of the bridges on a lake here, and they were in a little John boat. And he said they caught this catfish. It was so big, it was dragging the John boat around. And uh, when the thing surfaced or whatever it was, The catfish was almost half the length of the John boat. So there's some monster fish in here. For a while here, we had the national record, I think, on a smallie, but I know the stripers that they'll pull out of this lake are 30 pounds, 20 pounds. I mean, monster fish. So uh, good stuff there. All right, a few more. What you got? Yes, okay. Yeah, again, you guys heard the dryer go off again. North Shore Preparedness. Banished to an island for life. One meal, one album. Uh, one meal would be probably Mrs. Pinball's beef stroganoff, and the one album, without a doubt, is Back in Black. That question's easy. You probably knew my answer anyway. Uh, Becky Reed, for problems with deer eating your garden, use hot pepper on your plants. Yep, that'll work too. They certainly don't. I mean, even the pepper flakes and stuff like that, sprinkling around, that'll do well. Okay, a couple more minutes, guys. If you got any last questions, yeah, Rebecca, if you do rabbits, you have your own black gold for your garden. Yeah, as I said earlier, yeah. I mean, chicken manure, rabbit manure, best stuff you can put out there. Frank B's, Washington, D.C., March, January 6th. Yep. But haven't heard anything out of Mrs. Pinball, so I'm guessing Georgia wasn't called yet, though. North Shore, okay, you prefer earlier ACDC, the Bon Scott era. Okay. I'm not going to complain. I mean, Bon Scott had some great stuff, too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that band, they cut some good albums. They cut some great albums. They never cut a bad album. Lisa Preps, okay, there's a question. How did me and the missus meet? Actually online, believe it or not. I was looking for a refresher, like I told you guys when I was in the Army interrogator, so they had taught me to speak Czech. And so I was looking for a refresher course online, and one thing led to another, and all of a sudden I found her on a dating site. So that was it. Yeah, Val, will take something catastrophic to stop this runaway train of greed and corruption. Yeah, okay, right. Okay, Virginia Prepper. No, sorry, doesn't quite work that way. I wasn't doing that crap. Nice try though. Uh, what else we got? All right, throw me one more question, guys. Now we're gonna call it a night here. Tennessee Tactical. There's my one question. Does tomorrow worry me? No, because you know what, guys? Even if, no matter what happens, okay, let's say the Democrats win both seats in Georgia, and let's say that Biden and Harris are sworn in, and you've got a complete sweep across the board of Democrats, okay? The people will still speak, all right? And as screwed as we are going to be economically, as we usually are when a Democrat's president, okay, they just set the country back 10 years every time they go in. They always blame it on the Republicans, but it's like, no, it's like we have good years during Democrat presidencies because they're following up on the Republican stuff that was put in. And why do the Republicans always come into a shit economy? It's because it's all the stuff that, look at 2008, for example, okay? Oh, the housing crisis was because of George Bush. No, it wasn't. It was because of Barney Frank, okay? He's the one that wrote the idiotic bill that you didn't have to have any paperwork to do a mortgage. People don't look far enough. They're just like, oh, whoever's there, it's like laws get written in Washington and the effect of them happens in one day, okay? What I see happening, at least for 6 months or so, is we're still going to be able to work with some of the Trump era stuff until they can start to overturn it. This is, and I'm doing a video on it. I was writing the script for it before we started tonight. I'm certainly not looking forward to the next few years, and I'm hoping to God that at least one of the two Republicans in Georgia wins, so there's some brakes on, somebody can pump the brakes on Pelosi and Schumer and Biden and everything like that, because if they win both, then basically our only hope is Joe Manchin to kind of help and go, no, this is, being a Democrat, but, kind of a middle of the road guy. He'll pump the brakes on some of this. It's going to get ugly, but, guys, we lived through the Obama years, okay? And that was pretty ugly. And that was the prelude to all of this. So, am I worried about it? Yes. Am I panicked about it? Will I come out the other side? Yes. Hopefully as whole as I am today. But, all I can do is be as prepared as I can be for the Biden to hit the fan, I guess, if you will. So we'll make it all through it. How we make it through it is the question, but we will make it through it. So, all right, guys, 9:00. That is it. I'm done. Y'all have a great night. We will see you in the morning. Love y'all. Pinball out.